Will be out for a few kicks about after the contract signing, and then is off to the press room to field questions from the media. We'll be covering all of that here on Barca TV Plus. I'm Doug Bishop, alongside me Jamie Coles. Jamie, another presentation, things beginning to take shape with the squad, and a sunnier day today as well for Andreas Christensen's first touches of the ball as a Barca player.
Yeah, absolutely. He's brought the sun with him from London, clearly. It's, yeah, like you say, things taking shape. Barca moving on from this reconstruction phase. The foundations have been laid last season. Xavi's now going to kick off his first full season as coach, the second season that he's going to be involved in. And yeah, what a way to get into the pre-season with two new signings. A midfielder yesterday, today a centre-back, the name of Andreas Christensen.
Well, a lot of similarities between his signing and that of Frank Kessie. He arrives on a free with a highly expensive buyout clause, and he joins it through to 2026. And like Frank Kessie, he's decked out very smartly indeed, suited and booted, and accompanied by the president, Joan Laporta.
That's right. They start off in the suit, sign, do the paperwork, get everything signed, a few pictures, and then we'll see him don his new colours for a few touches of the ball here at the Camp Tito Villanova.
Well, the suit looks very fetching on Andreas Christensen, but it'll look even more fetching in that new Barca strip, which will be on sale as well for fans to buy. We are still awaiting the revealing of the away strip, the third kit as well. It's going to be the uniform for Christensen and Frank Kessie and all the rest of the Barca squad in the 2022-2023 campaign. Well, we'll get over to the serious business of the contract signing in just a moment. Andreas Christensen will be putting pen to paper officially. Just ask a quick question he will get, of course, that membership card. We'll see if our president, Joan Laporta, has been practicing the opening of that. Seamless from Mr. Laporta to hand over that lifetime membership.
El president Joan Laporta, que fa lliurament Andreas Christensen del carnet de soci del Barça. Un més que se suma a la gran família barcelonista, no només com a jugador, sinó com a soci d'aquesta entitat.
Christensen with his new membership card, and he can now, of course, participate
I procedirem ara a la signatura pública, aquí en aquell lloc que en breu coneixerà com casa seva, l'Andreas, perquè serà el seu camp d'entrenament. Damunt del Camp Tito Villanova es procedirà aquesta signatura del contracte que vincula el jugador danès amb el Futbol Club Barcelona fins al 30 de juny del 2026. Després d'haver jugat les últimes 5 temporades al Chelsea, ara farà la samarreta blaugrana, la que lluirà l'Andreas a partir d'aquesta propera temporada, i així ho estan deixant escrit i signat el president del Barça, el senyor Joan Laporta, i el nou jugador del Futbol Club Barcelona, Andreas Christensen, que trepitjava amb un bon somriure aquest camp d'entrenament. Esperem que pugui mantenir aquest somriure, no només en la jornada d'avui, que segur que està sent força especial per ell, i preguntarem de seguida, sinó també en aquests anys que lluirà i defensarà aquesta samarreta del Barça. Signatura feta, doncs, Andreas Christensen, ara sí, nou jugador del Futbol Club Barcelona fins al 30 de juny del 2026. Un moment, president. Així és, signarem aquesta lona. It's for FC Barcelona Foundation. L'Andreas està signant aquesta lona de la Fundació, que, com bé sabeu, després es subhastarà, i els beneficis aniran, com sempre, destinats a tots aquells projectes en els quals hi treballa la Fundació del Barça. Farem una fotografia, Andreas. We'll take a photograph with your signature,
we are going to see the shirt. Andreas Christensen, he's worn a variety of numbers in his time, number 4 and number 32
I ara sí, anem a veure aquesta fotografia, president, amb la samarreta que lluirà l'Andreas. Aquesta nova equipació del Barça de la temporada 2022-2023, ja amb el nom del nou jugador del Futbol Club Barcelona.
Well, there we have it. A new name on a new shirt.
Christensen following the traditions of a long line of Scandinavian players at Barca, including a few Danes in the club's history. He will look to make his impact in the Barca defence. Former Champions League winner, of course, Andreas Christensen. He has played in other leagues besides the Premier League with Chelsea and the Champions League. Was on loan for a couple of seasons at Borussia
Fem aquesta segona fotografia ara per la part davantera d'aquesta nova equipació del Barça per la propera temporada. I ara de seguida, quan els companys gràfics acabin amb aquestes instantànies, escoltarem les primeres impressions del president i també del nou jugador del Futbol Club Barcelona. President, començarem amb vostè.
President Joan Laporta, and then new player Andreas Christensen.
Benvingut, Andreas Christensen.
Welcome, Andreas Christensen.
És un dia molt especial pel Barça avui. La incorporació d'un nou jugador al nostre primer equip. It's a very special day for us.
A new player to
Thank you for your efforts to come to Football Club Barcelona. Thank you very much for a circumstance that I like very much in your life. Heu de saber que may I explain to the people? El Christensen, quan tenia 8 anys, va escriure en un paper
8 years old,
que un dels seus somnis era ser jugador del Barça.
On a piece of paper that one of his dreams was playing at Barça.
Ho hem vist i la veritat és que és en la línia del que nosaltres volem, no? Que hi hagi jugadors del primer equip del Barça que desitgin jugar al Barça.
In the first team of Barça that dream of coming to Barça.
That you wish to play in our club, and for us, we are very proud and we are very grateful. És un central que s'incorpora al Barça, amb el vistiplau, evidentment, l'entrenador, i felicitats a tots els que heu treballat per aquesta incorporació.
Congratulations to everyone that's worked towards this signing.
Mateu, Jordi Cruyff, els agents del jugador aquí presents.
The players, agents who are here as well.
For your job. Ha vingut també acompanyat de la seva família, el seu pare, Sven. Thank you for being here. I gràcies a tots per a la feina que heu fet, a tots plegats, per aquesta presentació i, a més, que és un jugador que ja porta és una operació que ja la vam estar parlant abans. La veritat és que la seva voluntat de venir al Barça ha ajudat molt a que avui vam incorporar un jugador d'una grandíssima qualitat, que ve d'un gran club, com és el Chelsea.
Desires to come to Barca from a great club like Chelsea.
Estem, veritablement, molt satisfets.
So we're very happy with this signing. Thank you.
I need to say something?
Escoltem a l'Andreas. How are you feeling right now?
Very proud. As the president just told you, it's been a dream for a very long time, since I was a kid, and as long as I can remember. So yeah, I'm just really proud and really thankful for the president, the vice president, Jordi, and Mateo, for doing a good job and making this possible. So yeah, it's a dream coming true, and I can't wait to get started.
Està orgullós de ser aquí l'Andreas. Dius, ara al final deia que és un somni fet realitat, que com recordava el president, doncs des de ben petit aquest somni està escrit que així volia ser. Agraïa també al president i tota la junta directiva del Barça el seu ajut perquè
we will hear some more from Andreas Christensen shortly. He will be fielding questions from the media, and there will be a few questions for the fans as well.
Again, just really proud to be part of your club. Can't wait to see you all in the stadiums, and I'm here for one thing, and that's for winning. So we have the same dream. So yeah, I can't wait to see them all in the stadium.
Amb moltíssimes ganes de veure els aficionats del Barça a l'estadi. Nosaltres també ho tenim de veure l'Andreas i tot aquest nou projecte de Xavi Hernández ja jugant a l'estadi del Camp Nou. Thank you very much, Andreas. Now we'll see you with the FC Barcelona suite. Ara deixem que marxi l'Andreas perquè es canviarà d'equipació i el podrem veure ja vestint l'equipació del Barça d'aquesta temporada 2022-2023 perquè pugueu fer unes primeres fotografies en aquest escenari que, com dèiem, començarà a conèixer de seguida el camp d'entrenament principal del primer equip del Barça i on serà casa seva de l'Andreas per aquestes properes temporades fins al 2026. Fins ara.
One of the benefits, I suppose, of being able to do this sort of presentation here at the Barca training ground Obviously, the turf at the Camp Nou is being relaid as it is every summer. Make sure it's nice and fresh for the season starting earlier than usual on August 12th, 13th.
Well, we have seen what's been going on in front of the cameras. You can see some of the behind-the-scenes footage, not just from today's presentation and the various activities that Andreas Christensen will be getting up to, but also from yesterday's presentation of Franck Kessié. We'll have all the behind-the-scenes footage, some exclusive content as well. Also, later today, there will be a sit-down interview with Andreas Christensen, which we will be publishing shortly thereafter. And we'll hear all the thoughts from the Danish signing. We'll just have a recap of his day so far. He has already undergone his medical. He has already met up with his teammates. This more or less a formality. And then he'll be off to the press room later on. There will be some questions from the media who might be putting their English skills to the test as well. Yesterday, a variety of language. It was French and Italian for Franck Kessié. Christensen, as you know, speaks perfect English as well as Danish. Plenty more besides, a little bit of German as well from his time at Borussia Mönchengladbach. And we expect him to get on very well with the other centre-backs. Eric Garcia, of course, speaks English from his time at Manchester City. Gerard Piqué, of course, from his time at Manchester United. Christensen looking to slot in there in the back line for Barca in what is going to be an exciting season. He's going to add some defensive solidity. A proven defender, even at this relatively young age, has the kind of experience that was noted yesterday with Kessié. He's a little bit older than the players who were coming up from the Barca B team, but still in the prime of his career.
I was watching an interview with him actually recently, from back when he was kind of first joining the Chelsea squad, and he spoke about his time on the training ground, getting to know, what he needs to do in Chelsea. And they put a microphone on him because they said, hey, look, as a centre-back, you need to be able to communicate really well, you need to be able to talk. And they were like, you're really quiet, you're too quiet. And so they put a microphone on him to sort of monitor the things that he was saying in training. And from there, he developed this communication skill that is required of centre-back. So it's interesting you pointing that out, actually, that he will be alongside the likes of Eric Garcia and Gerard Piqué, who speak English. And I guess that'll be an important avenue for him, an avenue of communication, to be able to communicate with the rest of the side and yeah, mingle with them. Xavi, the coach, of course, as well, speaks pretty good English from his time in the United Arab Emirates. It's just some footage from just a few moments ago when the contract was signed. Very much a formality at this point, everything agreed in advance.
And much like with the signing of Franck Kessié, very much a formality from the time his contract ran out at Chelsea. Very straightforward deal. As Joan Laporta said of both players, a willingness to come to Barca. Barca still has that star attraction power for some of the top players in the world. There is a real will for these players to come and try their luck at the best club in the world. And Christensen obviously looking forward to this new challenge for him. He will be straight in the saddle because he will be training with his teammates in the next few days. Then it will be off to the United States for those pre-season friendlies after that game against a lot. And he will have a few weeks to get ready for the coming campaign and to adapt what we expect to be a fairly rapid adaptation for him.
Yeah, absolutely. I believe, I'd imagine, he'd be part of the training session this afternoon. Barca trained 7 p.m. to avoid the Barcelona heat. They'll be training 7 p.m. today and 7 p.m. tomorrow. Sunday they will rest before, like you say, heading off, well, first up the coast to a lot for a quick friendly before heading off stateside for that 2022 Summer American Tour, where they'll face not only American teams, but also a couple of European ones as well. Some big teams involved in that tour. They arrive in Miami, of course, and they face it into Miami on what would be Wednesday, July 20th here in Barcelona at 1:30 a.m. They then head over to Las Vegas, where they will face Real Madrid on July 24th. They will also face Juventus on July 27th, before heading back east to New York, where they'll face, well, they'll be hosted by the New York Red Bulls. They'll face them on July 30th. Again, that'll be broadcast around 1 a.m. before heading back to Barcelona for the final pre-season friendly. Well, everything starts with the Gamper, doesn't it? And that'll be hosted at the Camp Nou against Pumas on August 7th at 8 p.m. The season then kicking off a week later on August 13th against Rayo Vallecano. So a pretty packed summer from here on in.
Well, it is a return to a more traditional pre-season schedule after a couple of pandemic years in which the overseas tours have been more or less off the cards, save for a sporadic trip to one country or another just for a couple of days. It's a more extensive pre-season tour. What better preparation than to take on some of those giants who Barca will be hoping to meet at some time in the Champions League. Barca will be competing on 3 fronts this season in La Liga, the Champions League and the Copa del Rey. There's some great expectation about this campaign after a trophyless season last time around, a rare trophyless season for Barca. They have a point to prove, and the summer activity showing as much. A couple of strong reinforcements that we've announced in the last couple of days, perhaps more to come. That was the subject of some questions yesterday in the press conference, but that man, Joan Laporta, keeping tight-lipped and not naming any individual names. He says it's not fair if they are at another club, and but then he's not going to go into specific cases. It's a little bit more fun for the journalists as well. They can make up their own theories and stories about the situation, but all will be fully revealed by the end of August when the transfer window comes to a close.
Well, the rumour mill is flying, almost literally. And, but yes, I think Joan Laporta was also very clear. Yesterday was Frank Kessia's day. Today is Andreas Christensen's day. And well, you talked about Barca being qualified for the Champions League. What a signing to have, Andreas Christensen. He's got some real experience in Europe of late. He played the 2018-19 Europa League. They won that title, did Chelsea. Then in the 2020-21 Champions League, and then in the Super Cup as well, the UEFA Super Cup. And then, of course, Chelsea earlier this year won the Club World Cup. So Andreas Christensen, with real experience on the European and world stage as a club player. And, of course, as an international for Denmark.
Exactly. Since 2015, part of the Danish senior squad. One of several Scandinavians to have applied their trade at Barca. The latest addition, and comes over after the conclusion of his contract at Chelsea. Arrives here through to the end of June 2026. 500 million euros buyout clause. The player we saw arriving earlier today underwent his medical with no problem at all. Fit and ready to go as a Barca player.
Yeah, fresh off the plane. Just yesterday evening, we saw him arriving at Barcelona airport. There he goes. Already got that brand new Barca training kit on this morning for the medical checks. We'll see him in just a short moment's time in that brand new Barca Blaugrana first team kit, as we get to see him in action for the first time as a Barca player, with a few touches of the ball out on the pitch here at the Camp Tito Vilanova in the Ciudad Esportiva. (26 years old, Andreas Christensen joined Chelsea aged 15, where he climbed the ranks as the young Blues, they're known as, right, there in Chelsea. No doubt they've had an eye on what's going on at La Masia, and will perhaps be looking forward to playing with some of the products of the Barca youth ranks as well.
And Christensen, his style seemingly well suited to Barca, calm on the ball, likes bringing the ball out from the back, great in possession, and was in a long line of quality centre-backs that Barca have had on the books. Also, much like Franck Kessié, very good in aerial play. Barca maybe adding a little bit more muscle this summer to support not only his fellow centre-backs but also the players in that what we can call the Busquets role. He's had it for so long that he has made the role his own. Whoever is playing in that position will be well supported by a defender with excellent positioning.
Yeah, I saw a really nice breakdown by our colleague Alex Delmas the other day, who sort of talked about Andreas Christensen's distribution of the ball and how a lot of important plays, both for Chelsea and the Danish national side, have started with the centre-back and led to attacking moments or even goals. And we've seen him with Denmark both comfortably in a 4 at the back or in a 3 at the back, so that will definitely suit kind of the play and the strategy we've seen from Xavi this past season.
And we see again Andreas Christensen as he headed out onto the pitch of the Ciutat Esportiva, the Camp Tito Villanova, where he will be most likely training this evening. He'll be out again shortly in his official Barca kit. A few keep-ups, maybe a rondo or two, and then it's down to the press room. We shall see what kind of questions are sent Andreas Christensen's way. Also, you'd imagine Joan Laporta would be in the press room as well. We had Matteo Alemany as well yesterday, fielding questions on Barca's signing policy with some interesting details. But more than anything, there was just a sense of some real confidence from President Laporta and Matteo Alemany that things are going to get done this summer and that it is all going to work out by the time the season starts.
One of the interesting things I thought yesterday, Duncan, was that a lot of this work is being done with quite heavy involvement of Xavi. As the coach of Barca, it makes sense. But it's not just Matteo Alemany, the technical director, the sporting director. They are working very closely with the coach. And Franck Kessié interestingly said, well, when Xavi calls you up, you've got to answer. And it makes all the effort that you've gone to pay off. And I thought that was really interesting that Xavi is involved in this process of bringing in the players, and they want to come to Barca. Xavi wants them here at Barca, and so it does seem like they're consolidating this project they're working on with players that want to be here and that are wanted here as well.
A clear transfer policy as well. Matteo Alemany will present some names that he feels are interesting, or players like Christensen, like Kessié, who will be available on free transfers. There has to be a consensus, though. Xavi has consulted. The trust is mutual between them. They've both spoken about how they trust in the other's ability to judge a player. Xavi knows what he wants as well from the team, which has been made very clear with some of his team selections during games.
He's been, toward the end of the season, he was very open about it in press conferences and interviews as well, about what areas they need to strengthen, where they're lacking depth. And, well, today and yesterday we saw some steps taken in those areas.
And here he is in his Barca home kit, Andreas Christensen, for a few keep-ups. It's our first look at him in the first team kit.
Pose for a quick photo in this stunning new Barca kit, which was revealed just a few weeks ago. Presentation, of course, taking place here at Barca's training ground, the Ciutat Esportiva, Camp Tito Villanova. Are you keeping count today, Duncan?
I wasn't able to keep count yesterday with Franck Kessié. You've distracted me again with Andreas Christensen, but there we see plenty of skill with the ball. Andreas Christensen. Well, we'll try and get a running count this summer to see who has the most keep-ups.
Like I said yesterday, someone will be keeping count. Someone will write to us on Twitter and tell us the running tallies. So we will welcome some youngsters from the Barca Academy to take part in an iconic training exercise in the rondo.
I podrà gaudir del que és també participar d'un rondo, dels habituals rondos del Futbol Club Barcelona. Amb aquestes instantànies escoltarem.
Well, this has become something of a tradition in recent seasons for all the new signings. It's a great moment as well for the young players.
Well, you said it yesterday, Doug. I think it's really nice because who knows where these young players might end up. Maybe one day we'll be announcing their presentation and we can go back in time and say, hey, do you remember, I don't know, he looks about 8 maybe, 10 years ago when you were here with Andreas Christensen having a kickabout in his presentation.
We have seen this a few times with some of the initiatives Barca have done, some of the media content where senior players have been training some of the youngsters and they've come up and they've played in the first team. And it's a lovely thing to see.
Yeah, there was a great one. I think it was Xavi and Iniesta with Adama Traore, who of course came on loan last season. This is really nice. Yeah, there's some footage of them on the training ground giving advice to these youngsters, and would you believe it, one of them ended up on the Barca first team. But I think for me it's a really nice sort of solidifying of the Barca family and the importance of a unified FC Barcelona with its various age categories, various teams, various you know, other professional teams as well that aren't on a football pitch. They all get involved in various ways, and it's a real nice sort of unifying image to give to the world of FC Barcelona.
Well, the rondos continue. Andreas Christensen has had his moment in the middle.
Yeah, he was determined not to stay there for too long, right?
Reassuring that he would not stay in there for too long as well.
Well, that brings the rondos to a close.
Have a couple of photo opportunities as well, not just with these youngsters. So with members of his family will come on, as we saw yesterday.
Andreas is el nuevo Koeman. Diu que es el nuevo Koeman, eh?
Andreas is the new Koeman, they say.
I like it.
He'll take that. Koeman, of course, the star of the '92 European Cup.
That's why he cannot participate on the
This is young Mark, who was injured yesterday. So he couldn't take part in the rondo, but he wanted to come out and meet the new Barca signing regardless. Andreas Christensen, of course, knowing the importance of growing up playing football. His dad was a professional player. His mum apparently was also quite like playing too, and so grew up very much involved in football. Went to Brøndby, which was the kind of the nearest major club, if you like, and his parents would give him sort of sick notes and dentist notes and stuff to say that he was, you know, he could leave school early and he'd go training, football training. And then at the age of 15, he moved to London, where he joined Chelsea's youth setup. It's good to see these players supporting the future of FC Barcelona as well.
Well, it's much like we said yesterday with Frank Kessie. It's nice to see the integration, because they will be spending some time around these players at the training ground. We have some of the youngsters training on the pitches as well as the Barca first team. There's a great integration. There's great unity amongst them. They will be involved in other initiatives as well together.
I was fortunate enough to be at the Barca Academy World Cup this summer, earlier this year. And it all takes place here in the Ciudad Deportiva, and a lot of the Barca players were there watching as well, supporting the youngsters. Barca Academy players from all over the world came to take part. So yeah, like you say, it's nice to have that integration from grassroots up. few more photos then. Kiss for his new badge.
And when the photos are over and done with, we'll head down to the press room. Andreas Christensen will be answering some questions from the media.
All the photos, of course, will be uploaded to various Barca social media and the official website, should you want to have a look at them, or maybe download one and put it as your mobile phone wallpaper. Well, back into the wardrobe for a Superman change. Back into his suit. He'll be heading down to the press room in just a short moment's time, where he will be speaking with the world press alongside President Joan Laporta. And we expect as well Mateo Alemán will be there to talk about how this signing came about. Yeah, a dream written on a piece of paper, aged 8, come true, age 26.
Well, there is hope for you to become an astronaut yet, Jamie. It might work out. Dreams do come true. It's something Frank Kessié said yesterday as well, that it was a dream of his to come to Barca. And we're seeing now this generation of players around about 25, 26 years old, who 10 or so years ago, when Barcelona were winning trebles and had some Champions League success as well, they started to follow Barca then. Barca have a special place in their hearts, and Barca still have that pull to get in some of the best players in the world.
Just trying to sort of work out which season it would be when he'd have written that down on his piece of paper that he wanted to play for Barca. I think it had probably been the 2004 season. Born 96, yeah, aged 8. I'd have been the.
Yeah, that would have been the time when he would have been watching Barca playing against Chelsea in the Champions League.
President Laporta as well wants a picture with future stars, so you can say I was there then.
We will have all of the content behind the scenes from these presentations that are going on, but also we'll have plenty of content from the US tour. That will be amply covered here on Barca TV Plus and on the Barca website. We'll see all of the travel stateside from the various players who are heading off with the squad. Andreas Christensen will be one of them. It's going to be really important for him to get a pre-season under his belt with his new club. One of the benefits of making such an early signing, being so prepared as well to come to Barca right at the beginning of July. Arrived yesterday, but the plans have been in place for a very long time.
Yeah, one of the worst kept secrets, I think, of this summer transfer window.
And of course, Christensen, with his contract coming up to an end on the 30th of June, as of the 1st of January, he was free to negotiate with any club for a potential move. Several players are opting to do that now, and Barca reaping the benefits. They bring in 2 quality players, 2 players who've won league titles in their respective countries and more. In Christensen's case, also a Champions League winner.
Yeah, he brings with him, of course, Bundesliga experience as well, which is always very valuable to have a bit of an understanding of different leagues work, and allows you to adapt a little bit to the domestic competition as well as feeling perhaps more confident and comfortable on the European stage too. And a wealth of international experience as well, Andreas Christensen. 56 caps for the Denmark senior side since 2015. Most recently, of course, Denmark finished top of their group, qualifying for the Qatar World Cup later this year.
He was one of the key players, of course, for Denmark during what was a successful Euro 2020. Played all 6 games for his country, including scoring that belter of a goal from distance against Russia in the 4-1 win and helped them into the knockout stage. Of course, Denmark losing to England in the semi-final after extra time at Wembley.
He was actually the very start of his footballing, I don't know if you can call it a career when you're a child, but when he first started playing, he was a striker. And then from there, he became a number 10. And then he moved to the right wing, and slowly he moved further back the pitch. And now he finds himself as a centre-back, claiming not that long ago that he wants to be the best centre-back in the world, and he's going to be playing alongside multiple times proclaimed best centre-back in the world, Gerard Piqué. I'm sure there'll be plenty to learn from him.
And in terms of scoring goals, Gerard Piqué, of course, the top Champions League goal-scoring defender. Achieved that honour earlier this year.
Well, this was just moments ago before he changed into his Barca kit. For a few touches to the ball, President Laporta handing him his soci card. He becomes a voting member of FC Barcelona, along with all the other socis who take part in the elections and the referendums.
Andreas Christensen del carnet de soci del Barça, un mes que se suma a la gran família barcelonista, no només com a jugador.
Like we said before, it's a way of bringing these players deeper into the fold and making them a part of this FC Barcelona family. And then he went on to sign the contract. The T's crossed and the I's dotted earlier on, I'm sure.
A few lowercase J's as well might even have found their way onto the contract.
Ara serà la samarreta blaugrana, la que lluirà l'Andreas a partir d'aquesta propera temporada, i així ho estan deixant escrit I signat al president del Barça.
Unfortunate in one way, but I wouldn't like to be out in a black suit on the Ciutat Deportiva Joan Gamper. And this temperature's up to around about 30 degrees in Barcelona. Hence the late training sessions for the squad. Not really viable to be training in the middle of July at midday.
Yeah, an interesting point I hadn't thought of actually, as I sit here in my shorts and t-shirt. Northern European as well, spent time Denmark and then London. He's yet to acclimatise to the Spanish heat.
A lot of these players who've joined Barca, maybe from Premier League clubs or from clubs in other places less sunny in Europe. They've always mentioned beautiful club, a beautiful city as well. That's one of the attractions of joining Barcelona. It is very easy to get acclimatized here. There's not too much homesickness that goes on from the players who come here. It's a really good system as well to get the players integrated ASAP.
And of course, that's something that Xavi and the coaching staff work on as well. Part of the strategy and the tactics is that team bonding and the gelling, and you see that in the training sessions, the various training games, for want of a better word. The games, it sort of sounds like it's too much fun, doesn't it, to be work? But they have these, little training games and activities and team bonding opportunities integrated with the training sessions. And actually, check out some of the training videos on Barca TV Plus on YouTube, because some of them are pretty fun to watch. The team have already trained earlier this morning, bright early start, 9 a.m. They'll be training again, a double session today, just like Tuesday, later at 7 p.m. And tomorrow, you could join the training session live on Barca TV Plus from 7 p.m. It'll be the first training session of the pre-season that we bring to you live. And I'd imagine this man will be there.
We'll be able to see the first few minutes of the session before Xavi goes into some more tactical work. But most of the work at the moment is going to be physical, just fitness work to get the players back in tip-top shape. But a lot of them, as we saw from the likes of Andreas Christensen, they certainly haven't been straying too far from their training routine and diet.
Well, it's been quite a short off-season for a lot of these players, especially if they were called up to international squads as well. But yeah, there's a man that knows his way around a football.
He might have had a little practice as well. He knows that this occasion is coming up. And to dust off the keep-up skills. Player who's very confident on the ball in defence. Great aerial presence as well. Ideal addition to this Barca defence.
6'2", 187 centimetres. Certainly got the height needed to play the Barca centre-back alongside the likes of Gerard Piqué or Ronald Araujo. This was that nice moment where the Barca Academy players came out for an activity that Andreas Christensen is going to have to get used to here at the Ciudad Deportiva, the rondos, invented, of course, by Johan Cruyff himself when he was a Barca coach, and utilised very frequently in the Barca training sessions. He did take his turn in the middle as well.
As we said, it didn't last for too long. Christensen showing his interception skills.
Well, he made his professional debut for Chelsea under Jose Mourinho. And he's played under some quite iconic coaches and managers. Has Andreas Christensen, Antonio Conte, Maurizio Sarri, Thomas Tuchel. As well, of course, as a midfielder turned manager, much like Xavi, Frank Lampard. Sure he'll have learned something from each of those managers, and we'll be looking forward to learn a fair bit from Xavi as well. And he is the sort of coach that likes to impart knowledge. We see that in a lot of interviews. A lot of the players say, yeah, Xavi's always shown us videos of what we could have done differently and what to do, what we need to work on. And he, being the sort of former player turned manager that he is, he commands a lot of respect in the dressing room as well as on the pitch, does Xavi Hernandez. And he knows his stuff.
Well, this will be, of course, the first full season for Xavi in charge. He gets underway proper on August 13th against Rayo Vallecano. Real Sociedad, we've got that friendly against Manchester City on August 24th. Newcomers, the returning Real Valladolid, and then really big game against Sevilla at the start of September. Cadiz, then Elche, Mallorca, Celta Vigo, Real Madrid. First Clásico of the season will take place on October 16th. The two sides will face one another before, though, and they will do so in the United States in just a couple of weeks' time. We're looking forward to that one, and you will be able to enjoy it with us if you are able to stay up that late, or perhaps if you reside in a non-European time zone. It's going to be a good one. Real Madrid, the La Liga champions, up against Barcelona, who have a point to prove this season.
Well, the last time they met, of course, at the Bernabeu, Barcelona came away with a 4-goal victory.
It was one of the best results for the Blaugrana last season. Always eagerly anticipated the return of El Clasico. We'll see it several times in the next few months.
Of course, if you aren't able to stay up late to watch it live on Barca TV+, you can catch it on demand. It will all be available with all sorts of content behind the scenes from that USA tour, as well as all the friendlies on Barca TV+. I'm sure there'll be plenty going on social media as well. Today, though, we are here in the outskirts of Barcelona city at the Ciutat Esportiva, where this man, Andreas Christensen, seals his future for the next 4 years as an FC Barcelona player. He has a contract in place now until the 30th of June 2026. And he'll be defending these colours and this badge. Footage here from just a short while ago when the respective press took the opportunity to get a picture of him in his new colours for the first time. Quick kiss for the badge as well. A dream come true for Andreas Christensen.
He had written on that piece of paper at the age of 8 that he wanted to play for Barcelona. The wait is almost over. And the wait for the press conference almost over as well. Andreas Christensen is just heading down to the press room in a moment where we will hear some more from him. There we are. His arrival imminent, as we'll get his views and his first impressions of his arrival at the Catalan club. Well, much like yesterday, quite large media gathering for this one. The press keen to get the first thoughts from Andreas Christensen.
Well, Barcelona, a club that always attracts media attention. And there's plenty going on at the minute, especially with these two first signings of the summer transfer window. Yesterday we welcomed Frank Kessié. Today we welcome Andreas Christensen as Xavi's FC Barcelona project moves into the next phase. The former Barca player turned coach, of course, wasn't involved in the transfer window this time last year.
To give his thoughts, of course, in the winter transfer window to bring in several players. It was an interesting strategy from Xavi in terms of who he incorporated. There's been a consensus with the arrival of Mateo Lemán to work with the coaches and to find out the profiles that are needed and do the relevant scouting. Some very canny moves made by Barca in the transfer windows as of late.
It's not been the easiest moment for the club. Both President Laporta and Mateo Alemán spoke yesterday about the situation that they inherited from the former board of directors. And of course, they've got a series of levers in place which have allowed them to make these first two signings. Did It's certainly been a question of lateral thinking, perhaps, for Mateo Alemán, in order to bring in these players, as well as, of course, developing relationships with the players and having a club and a team and a project that attracts this kind of talent. Both Frank Kessier yesterday and Andreas Christensen today, both happy to join the club, both willing to join the club, both fulfilling dreams of playing at this club, and that's exactly what Xavi and President Laporta are looking for. In fact, President Laporta said yesterday, we want players that want to be here. He had that very, very clear.
We are seeing once again footage from earlier on, around about an hour ago, when Andreas Christensen was presented and got his first team home kit on. He'll be back suited and booted for the press conference in just a couple of minutes' time. It will be a rare treat as well, because we'll get to hear Andreas Christensen's responses in English to the questions. We'll also translate anything that Mateo Alemán and Joan Laporta say as well as the questions from the media.
I was trying to think back through recent signings, actually. The last one that arrived at the club who doesn't speak Spanish or Catalan, I think Serginho Dest was the most recent of those. Aubameyang, of course, speaking 8 different languages, and having complete dominance over Spanish. I wonder if he's been able to work a bit of Catalan into his repertoire as well. Andreas Christensen speaking Danish and English. Speaking English as good as many Englishmen I know. This was just earlier. Young Mark from the Barca Academy, who got injured yesterday, was set to take part in the rondo with Barca's latest signing. Was unable to do so, but got in for the picture anyway. Let's hope that he bounces back soon. There's young Mark from the Barca Academy.
There we see the home kit on Andreas Christensen. We also see in the background that lovely kind of golden yellow strip that is the Barca away kit, of course, with the Spotify sponsorship as well, new for this season. A third kit still to be revealed. That's coming up later this summer.
Great opportunity for these Barca Academy youngsters. Not only a picture, but also an autograph on their academy shirts. Quite the opportunity for them to be able to come out and have a kickabout with the latest Barca signing. And a nice moment for the club as well. Bringing together the star of today with the stars of tomorrow. This is footage from just a few moments ago. Stay with us, of course. In a short moment's time, we will be heading over to that press conference room at the Ciudad Deportiva, where Barca's latest signing, Andreas Christensen, will be addressing the world press for the first time as an FC Barcelona player.
That will be his first meeting with the media. Later on today, though, he will be giving an in-depth interview to Barca TV Plus, where we can get some more specific details, maybe from the new Barca signing. The latest arrival to the squad this summer. After a short delay, Andreas Christensen and Joan Laporta are down in the press room to field some questions. We've also got Jordi Cruyff in attendance. He will be also answering some questions from the media.
President Laporta before, of course, thanking Jordi Cruyff and Mateo Alemán in their part of ensuring this signing happened. Some photos once again before we get this press conference underway. There it is, the latest name on the back of a Barca shirt. Christensen, no number as yet.
As we said, number 4 and number 32 are the numbers that have been used by Andreas Christensen.
I'm sure all will be revealed soon enough. That shirt, of course, with Christensen's name now available from the Barca store or the online store. Just a few moments' time, we will hear from the new signing as he speaks with the world press for the first time as a Barca player, alongside President Joan Laporta and Technical Sporting Director Jordi Cruyff.
Som a la sala de premsa de la ciutat esportiva Joan Gamper per procedir a la roda de premsa d'Andreas Christensen, el nou jugador del Barça. Ens acompanyen per fer aquesta roda de premsa el mateix jugador, l'Andreas, el president del Futbol Club Barcelona, el senyor Joan Laporta, i el Jordi Cruyff, membre del Departament de Futbol del Futbol Club Barcelona. Escoltarem en primer lloc les declaracions, les primeres paraules al Parlament del president.
Sí, gràcies, molt breu.
Thank you. I'll keep this brief.
Torno a donar la benvinguda a Andreas.
Once again, I want to
welcome Andreas again.
Gràcies per haver posat de la teva part al ser jugador del Futbol Club Barcelona i especialment
Thank you for doing everything
que hem
possible.
conegut avui, el fet que hem conegut avui, quan tenies 18 anys vas escriure
that we found out today, this detail that
i un d'ells era
when he was 8 years old, he wrote down
wishes, and one of them was to be player of Barca Football Club. And we want players that are committed with the club, that respect the club, that they know the club and love the club.
Com a president del Futbol Club Barcelona vull dir
And as a president of Football Club,
thanks for that.
I'd like to thank you. So your wish is coming
Fulfilling his dream, it's a dream
true.
Desitjo és molts èxits amb
And what I wish for you is all the success for Football Club Barcelona as a collective team and also individually. And I would like also to thank you and thank your agents because they work hard together with the management.
Thank you very much to your family to be here in this special moment for the Football Club Barcelona and for your husband, your son, and your son-in-law. Okay? Thank you very much. Gràcies.
Gràcies, president. De seguida comencem amb el torn de preguntes, però abans volem tornar a escoltar l'Andreas. Una primera valoració.
So we're just going to start with the Q&A, but first we're just going to listen to Andrea. Just a few words. A few words.
Before I start, I want to thank the president, the vice president, and Jordi and Matteo for making this possible. It's a proud day for me. Like he just said, I heard the translation. Since I was 8 years old, I put something in the paper, my dreams. And that was to become a professional football player and play for Barcelona. So it's a proud day, and yeah, I'm just looking forward to get started.
Gràcies, Andreas. De seguida comencem amb el torn de preguntes, però abans us volem presentar un vídeo.
Yes, we're just going to start with the Q&A, but first we're just going to see a video, a welcome video for Andreas, center back.
I ara sí, cedeixo la paraula al meu company, al Sergi Nogueras.
So I will give the floor now to my colleague, Sergi Nogueras.
La roda de premsa amb el torn de Barça TV.
Okay, Cristina, we start the press conference with the
Bon dia, Pol Martínez de
Barça TV. Paul,
go ahead. Here, Andreas.
Barça
Welcome
TV.
to FC Barcelona. Congratulations for this transfer. Now in Catalan, please. No sé si t'imagines o com creus que ha de jugar un central
I don't know
Club Barcelona, com creus
how, if you think how a center back should play or how this center back should be, or if you have talked to Xavi and if he asks you anything special.
No, nothing special. I think I'm here because of the player that I've become, how I'm as a person, and I think that fits already well to the Barcelona style of play, and I think that's why I'm here. So I don't have to change anything, or obviously I have to get better, learn every day. But I think my style of play fits quite well already, and I think that's why I'm here.
Sí. Hola, benvingut, Andreas. La meva pregunta a Xavi Lemos.
Welcome, Andreas. Xavi Lemos from TV3. My question is for President Laporta. Yesterday we talked about the second lever that you were using and that is going to be closing up soon. So looking at this second situation with the leverage, the rest of the signing for other players, I don't know if you can start negotiating already, or is there any other comments with regards to the Barca proposal for Lewandowski? I'm not going to talk about other players, but I'm going to answer this question when you talk about leverage. Until we don't have the second leverage and 50% of broadcasting rights, this is the leverage that we're going to use. And the general rule is that you won't have any other players signing up until then. This is the general rule. There could be some exception, of course.
Què tal? Ramon Salmurri, de Catalunya Ràdio.
Salmurri,
welcome, Andreas.
from Catalunya Radio.
Jo volia saber com va ser la conversa que vas tenir amb Xavi per valorar el teu...
How the phone conversation was with Xavi to talk about your signing for Barca, and why are you so passionate about Barca and this wish that you wrote down? Where does all this come from?
Obviously, the conversations are private, but he made it very clear that he liked my way of playing and the personality that I have. I'm not a shiny, I'm not too forward as a person. I am calm within myself, and I think that's what drew me here as well. And I think the passion for the club. When I started watching football, the way Barca played, the players they had at the time, just drew me to the club, and it's been a dream ever since. And now that I'm here, I'm very proud. But yeah, I think just the way of playing is the way I want to play as well.
Bon dia, Andreas. Welcome to Barcelona.
Good morning, Andreas. Welcome to Barcelona. I would like to know if you talked with other Azpilicueta or Marcos Alonso, other players from the Chelsea, if you talked to them, and if you would like them to join you here in Barca, or if they would like to play for Barca as well.
No, of course, I talked to them before. Or as soon as I knew this was a possibility, I talked to them about the Spanish way of living, how Barcelona is as a city. And yeah, they're great friends, so of course I want to play with them. But again, I think I haven't met the players yet here, but I heard it's a good group. We have great players, and yeah, I'm just looking forward to play with the team as well. But of course, when it's friends you're talking about, you always want to see them next to you.
Hola, què tal? Soc el Santi Vall en directe al Que t'hi jugues de Ser Catalunya, la meva pregunta és al president Laporta. No sé si
and my question is for President Laporta. I don't know if with this signing
a la línia defensiva, que és una línia que s'havia de reforçar. M'agradaria preguntar.
We're going to reinforce the defense. I would like to talk about the lineup, the defense lineup, and how do you see Gerard Piqué and what is the season looking like for him?
Gerard té molt clar que vol fer una molt bona temporada. Això m'ho va fer saber.
Gerard wants to play this season and play a good season. And how do I see it personally? I see him playing a good season. I think he wants to play a good season. And then the coach has to value this technically to see what he should do. But personally, I feel like he really wants to play a good season. He's very motivated with the new players that are coming to reinforce the defense, and sure that that's going to be his role, and he's going to help them to incorporate them to the club. As a captain, that's the role that we expect from him and the role that he's always played. And talking about technical aspects, I'm not going to go into those.
Andreas, quan contesta l'Andreas en anglès.
Do you understand when Andreas speaks? Do you get the translation? Or everything is working? Yes, everything was working fine. Yeah, okay. Radio Nacional, welcome, Andreas. My question is for President Joan Laporta. You are saying that you're going to talk about players, but there is some information from Germany that Bayer wants to have it all in cash for Lewandowski, just in case Barca disappears in 2 or 3 years, or if you can pay back.
Bueno, primero no me las creo, porque creo
First of all, I don't think that's the case, because this has come from Chad and this has been a joke.
Y que esto no viene del Bayern.
Doesn't come from Bayer, this information that you're talking about.
125 aniversario, creo que hay.
We are going into our 125th anniversary in the Barca. There are not that many clubs as ours with such a splendorous past as ours. And in this sense, I completely respect Bayern Munich. I've made an offer for the player, and we're waiting for an answer, and we hope that it's a positive answer. And to thank the player, all that he said, saying that he would like to come here and play with us. We have made an offer, as is to Bayer, and they are valuing the offer, and we are waiting for their answer.
Bona tarda a tots tres. Víctor Navarro de la
Good afternoon.
Christensen, la meva pregunta és pel president Joan Laporta. Presidente, hoy ficháis a un central, viene gratis, pero hay muchos centrales en la plantilla de Xavi Hernández.
¿Cómo está la situación? It's a free transfer, but there are so many defenders in Barca, so I don't know the exits for Lenglet and Umtiti. So Lenglet, I think Jordi, you can explain it better than me.
Parece que estamos parece que estamos cerca con una salida y se anunciará cuando ya sea oficial. Pero bueno, respondiendo un poquito a la pregunta de tener competición y tener jugadores de buen nivel en la plantilla, lo único que hace es reforzar una plantilla. Entiendo muy bien que cuando la gente piensa en fútbol, siempre piensa en un 11 titular, pero creo que también hace muchos años esto ha cambiado y al final nuestro trabajo es darle al entrenador el máximo de armas posibles diferentes y que el entrenador elija cuáles utilizar en cada batalla. Cada partido es diferente, por tanto nuestro trabajo es tener el máximo de jugadores competitivos que se equilibren entre ellos, para no siempre tener los mismos jugadores, sino tener una plantilla amplia y de buen nivel, para que el entrenador tenga los dolores de cabeza positivos de tener que elegir un 11 y entonces estaremos satisfechos si se consigue. Obviamente, cuando hay entradas también puede haber alguna salida, pero no hay que siempre pensar en el titular porque al final es la plantilla el que tiene que competir.
Hola, Alex Pintanel de Gol. Felicidades, Andreas, y mucha suerte. Mi pregunta es para el presidente.
Congratulations, Andreas, and the best of luck for you. My question is for the president. I don't know if
de cara a lo que se está construyendo para esta próxima temporada. Gracias.
Xavi, and about what he's doing for the next season. Yes, I've talked to him. He's very excited. He wants to start right now.
También, pues, el stage que vamos a hacer en Estados Unidos. Y lo he visto
tour in the United States, and I have seen that he is very excited, and all the technical staff, and good sensations, and we have given each other a hug, and we hope that everything works out the way we want.
Hola, buen día. Aquí Andreas, Anaís Martí de La Vanguardia, bienvenido. Como ves, hay muchos centrales en esta plantilla. Te quería preguntar si te
So there are so many defense players, Andreas, in this squad. If you see yourself playing in the lineup, or if you can be a competition for Gerard Piqué, who has been playing for Barca for a number of years now. Thank you.
My goal is always to play in the team. I think every player, professional player, wanna be on the pitch every week. That's the main goal. But like you say, I know there's a lot of competition, and for me, it's like a healthy competition. It only makes me better, makes me push more, and not to name any names, but all the defenders are great, and like I said, I see it as healthy competition, and I'm looking forward to it.
Jordi Blanco.
Sí, hola, buen día. Jordi Blanco de ESPN. Felicidades, Andreas, por su fichaje.
Good morning. Congratulations, Andreas. I would like to ask the President,
en el hecho de reforzar la plantilla.
When talking about reinforcing the squad and talking about the leverage, as you were saying, I don't know if you talked to Xavi about the possibility of not being able to have all the players that he won, and we will have to move to a plan B, or you will have to move to a plan B. I don't know if
nosotros estamos trabajando y lo sabe el cuerpo técnico.
We are working, and the technical staff knows,
so
that we have enough room
querríamos todos.
The signings that we all want.
No es una promesa.
This is not a promise. It's our intention.
Además sustentada por un trabajo que de momento está saliendo bien.
An intention that we have worked on, and our work is bearing fruit because we have done part of our work, and now we have this level of 15% I was talking about, and from then there will be negotiations, there will be
de las operaciones que tenemos,
execution of the different operations that are ongoing.
Yo diría más que
I would say that they're quite advanced. We are waiting for them to
con la situación de que son dos partes y se han de poner de acuerdo.
But there are two parties in every negotiation, and we need to reach an agreement. We can't forget about that.
Aunque no tuviéramos que hacer las palancas porque estuviéramos muy.
So even without the leverage, even if our financial situation was really good, we still have to do that. The levers are used so that we can have a healthy financial situation, and that we have the fair play so that we can sign other players. Then we hope to reach the end of the negotiations that are ongoing, and we hope that
queda el que podamos hacer la relación uno a uno.
And just meet on a one-to-one basis, and that we can conclude the second part of the negotiation with the second leverage.
Estamos en ese punto ahora.
We are at that point at the moment.
Joan Domènech del periódico. Joan Domènech from El Periódico. My question is for Andreas. Welcome to Barcelona. Here's the question. How did you manage the last weeks and the last months at Chelsea, knowing that you were coming to Barca team, and also the fact that Barca has signed in 8 center players in the recent years? Does it give you a sense of stability?
Thank you. Now, for the first part, try to manage best as possible. Trying to go in every day and do my job as best as I can. That's what I do every day. And as for the other part, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. There's a lot of healthy competition, and I can learn a lot from each player. We have defenders been here for a very long time. Piqué is probably legend status at the club already, and I can learn a lot from him. I can learn a lot from everyone here. So yeah, I'll come in and do my best every day and try to learn.
Buenos días, Tony Juan Martí de Relevo.
Tony Juan Martín.
My question is for you, Andreas. Congratulations on your signing. A lot has been said about Barca's lack of winning mentality in recent years. Among other things, you have won, for example, Champions League with Chelsea. Do you think, in terms of mentality, you can also be a great help for the club?
Good question. Like I said, I'll come in and try and do my part every day. I'll get pushed by the other players, and I'll definitely try and push them. Like I said earlier, I'm only here to win. That's the main goal. And I think the potential of this club and this team that we have, we have to win trophies, and I don't think that's changed in the history of this club. So yeah, I'm going to come in every day and try and push the others, and hopefully they will push me as well.
Hola, Sergi Capdevila del Diario Sport. Welcome to Barcelona, Andreas. Te quería preguntar cómo han sido esos últimos.
I would like to ask you, how were the last months at Chelsea? Did you not participate in the last matches? Tuchel said that you were not ready, that it had happened on several occasions. Could you talk about the last weeks at Chelsea, and if you feel 100% in order to start the season? Thank you.
Yeah, like I said, I try to go in every day and do my job. And for me, it's kind of in the past now. It was obviously difficult last weeks. It's not the way I hoped it would have ended. But I am more than proud of being part of Chelsea for 10 years. And from the last question, we won a lot of trophies, especially the last 4 years. So I'm here with a fresh mind, great things happening. Just had a baby, family's all healthy, and yeah, I'm just looking forward to this opportunity, and I'm more than proud of what I've done for Chelsea.
Hola, Martí Molina, Diari Ara.
Martí Molina from Diari Ara. A question for the President. You were mentioning all the different levers that you were going to use, and also the comment from the Bayern Football Club. But in any case, you have been presiding over the first stage and the second stage of the presidency, taking into consideration that this is a well-known situation, what we are witnessing in the club. How does it make your life difficult, the economic constraints that are well known when you're trying to negotiate with the different football clubs? To what extent is the lack of credibility in that respect making your work harder when negotiating? Well, I believe that credibility of the club is back. it is back. We are regaining our credibility. But it's true that in operations, we have an added bonus difficulty because of the economic constraints, but we are in the process of having positive assets. We're in the process of leveraging the debt and sending the word out to the market that we're going to invest in order to render our teams more competitive. So I know that there are some situations that we're working on where the competitors are taking profit, so to speak, of that situation, and they are circling the wagon, trying to maintain ourselves in a situation of maximum economic constraints. But this is something that we are turning around. It is improving, and it is less true by the minute. And this is going to finish when we send the first message to the market saying that we're going to make an investment. But we need to maintain the different paces and rhythms that each and every one of the operations keep, and that we're working on, not just in terms of purchase, but also exit or selling, which is the second 15% lever remaining of the broadcasting right. Hello, good morning. Josep Soldala. President, I would like to say that Barça is an opening gate for the players, or do you have a profile that you are, I don't know, well, that you don't want to count on, like Cristiano Ronaldo? We are lucky enough that the majority of the players want to come to play for Barça. And I would like to say that all of them, when they have an opening or a possibility of coming to Barça, they do consider that, and they feel enthused by that thought. Maybe some players of our more direct rivals do not think of Barça, evidently, but the rest, the majority of the cases, are enthused. They're excited to come to play for Barça. We have seen that, and they have told us so. And we are lucky enough that Barça, because of our heritage, because of our history, the legacy, the players that we have had, and everything that we have achieved, is a club that is still very appealing for important players. And I'm not going to talk about specific names. I'm talking in general. I'm talking about some important players, great players, and there is a very long list, great players that are playing in great football clubs, but if they see the possibility of continuing their career in Barça, they consider that, and they feel excited. And it is, well, as your colleague mentioned, there is a handicap, the fact that we had inherited a complicated economic situation, which is used by our competitors in order to undermine us in the operations where we are direct competitors. It's also true that we have a competitive advantage, which is the fact that in Barça we're still very appealing, and credibility is back, enthusiasm is back, and the proof is that great players of the great quality, as Andreas Christensen, are excited to come to play for Barça. They are coming from a great club like Chelsea, but they want to continue their career making their dream come true. And there's great players that want to come to play for Barça, and the handicap that we can have, which is of a temporary nature, when we can overcome this handicap, I think that we're going to go back to normal, and we will be able to face the market with higher guarantees for success. Alejandro Segura for Radio Marca. Welcome, Andreas. My question is for Jordi or the President. As a segue to the question of Andreas, if he would like to have Azpilicueta and Alonso coming over, would you like to have Marcos Alonso and Azpilicueta here? And how are the negotiations, taking into consideration the change in ownership in Chelsea a few a few weeks ago, and if this is a hurdle. It's true that there has been a change in ownership at Chelsea, which is delaying negotiations. It's well known that we want to reinforce certain positions in the squad, and obviously, our responsibility is to have different names on the table, and as we move forward, some of them are more feasible than others, and that's the moment that we're witnessing right now. What impacted me the most, and I think that the President illustrated this really well, is that all players, when they're listening to the words Barca team, it's an eye-opener, and they're willing to lose some money, in fact, and adjust to our new salary structure, which is one of the most important things that we have been doing at Barca in the last year, is to render everything more stable and to narrow the differences and the gap between some players and the others. And we take pride to see how people are willing to lose money sometimes if they can come to play for this club, to be part of our squad and to dress in our colors. And this is something that we don't talk about much, but there is a new salary structure that is fairer. Sometimes we can, well, we try to adjust upwards or downwards, but it's essential. And as regards the players, as the President mentioned, we don't want to say any names, because every time we say a name, there is another club where the players have a contract and they don't like the situation, just like we wouldn't like it. We need to respect the situation, but it's obvious to see that we're seeking to reinforce certain positions that we consider to be essential. And in those positions, we consider that we need to introduce a bit more competition or to directly make some signings. Mr. Martinez from Onda Cero. Welcome, Andreas. Best of luck. My question is for Jordi Cruyff. Following the line of what we were talking about, regarding the lineup for next year, does it respond to the needs of the coach? Do you think that it's going to appear in the first ranking leagues, and so that we can appear in the first line of international competitions? Is it possible? Well, we are convinced, and that's our conviction, and we work towards that end every day. All those goals, I am confident that we're going to fight for all trophies, international important trophies, because there's many players who want to come to play for Barca. They're willing to, take in some salary reductions even. There's many great players, and if we have a compensated squad and a compensated lineup, I think we can do it. Sometimes we assess football by individual players, but it's not about that. It's all about having a diversity of different profiles of players, like center backs or center players doing different things. And we're talking about the Barca DNA and Cruyff philosophy that I have talked about at home. But not always the lineup achieves the greatest results. For a player to shine, there is another who is a peer who needs to lend support, whose work is not visible, but without that player's contribution, the other one cannot shine. So our work is to try and strike a balance. That's why we're seeking for very specific profiles with a kind of mindset and character that Barca requires. All players need to have a strong character because there is a strong pressure, but I do believe that if we are capable of using those levers, our team is going to be really strong, and we're going to send out the signal that Barca is back. Ferran Martínez and Marcelo.
Hola, Andreas. Bienvenido.
Hello, Andreas. Welcome. My question is to you. You said that when you started following football, you became a fan for Barca because you liked the team, the style of play. Back then, when you were a kid and you started following football, which are the players that you remember who were your reference benchmarks? Why Barca and not some other team?
Well, Barca, because of obviously the way they play, that's what I said is obvious. But and then it's important to remember that I was a striker back then. So just players with Ronaldinho or even watching Deco play. I know he's a midfielder, but these players, when I grew up, that's the players I was watching the most. Just the creativity and everything, all the tricks they showed on the pitch. I know football might be a little bit different now, not too much trickery, but back then it was the best thing to watch.
Marcelo Beckler. Hola, bon dia, President. Bon dia, Jordi.
Good morning,
Andreas.
President. Bon dia, Jordi.
Here, Marcelo Beckler for Sport Interactive, for TNT Sports Brazil. Sorry. You were talking earlier about mentality, and there is a quote from Sahi on you that before important matches you always had those stomachal issues. I want to know if that's true, and the changing of airs coming to another country, another club. It's good also for you to change this. I don't know this that they put in your face that Sarri did on that day. Thank you.
No, I'm healthy. More than healthy. I'm here, I'm healthy, I'm ready to play. I didn't play much back then. And there's nothing else to say. When I look at the past, like I said, I look the last 4 years more than proud enough than what I've done at Chelsea, winning trophies, playing in the finals. I'm more than healthy.
Hola, Patricia Masses de Televisió Espanyola.
Patricia Masses from Spanish TV. My question is for Andreas. What would you say to all the fans that are a bit disillusioned because of the season that Barca is having? We're a bit disappointed.
It's hard for me because I haven't been here, but I'm just looking forward to to this season. When I look at the team play last season, there's still with excitement. The players that have the talent that the team have is incredible. And if you look at the second half of the season, I don't think there's not a lot of teams that were better than Barcelona. So I was watching on with big expectations, and I don't think they've gone down to this season. So I just can't wait to get started and be part of the team, because I think they showed what the second part of the season, what the team can do.
Julie.
Hola, bon dia. Congratulations, Andreas. La meva pregunta és que, a part de perquè des de petit, des que tenies 8 anys,
since you were 8 years old, you wanted to come to play for Barca. What other reasons were there in order to come to play for Barca, as opposed to going to Bayern, for example, who took interest in you?
Yeah, it's two great clubs. It's hard to choose, but like I say, in the end, it's been a dream for a long time. I don't think there's much of a question of what you're going to do. I can prove now that dreams do come true, and I'm really proud that it did.
Bon dia, soc aquí el Gabriel Iscovich del diari El Món. Welcome, Andreas. The question is for you. You've been trained by several great coaches like Antonio Conte, Thomas Tuchel, Maurizio Sarri, Frank Lampard, but then there's one special, the special one, Jose Mourinho. As you may know, we love him here in Barcelona. What would you extract from him? What did you learn from him? What did you get from him? Could you explain us your experience with him?
All good experience. I was pretty young, so I didn't play many games with him, but just picking up from training, he was, you can see he's a winner. Always have a plan, and I think, at that time, as I said, I was young, and we switched managers quite often. So I tried to pick a little bit out of every coach that I had. But he's definitely like a winner, and he can set his team up to whatever he wants.
Hola, Roger Pros d'Iniestazo. Benvingut abans que res, Christensen.
Welcome, Christensen.
Jordi. Antes comentabas de que buscáis perfiles diferentes para equilibrar la plantilla.
Different profiles to balance the squad. What do you think that Andreas can give you that is not in
Bueno, primero, viene un poco basado en que en enero tuvimos una experiencia bastante, creo, positiva, que sin duda ayudó, el equipo se sintió reforzado, con jugadores de la Premier League que vienen con un ritmo un poco diferente. Inglaterra es más de transiciones, tanto en ataque como en defensa, mucho también juego aéreo, y creo que es un tema que nos ha ido bien, por lo tanto, sobre todo el ritmo que llevan, por lo tanto nos interesa ese mercado, ¿no? Porque vienen, se adaptan rápido y en su caso muy concreto, creo que también es un jugador que ya tiene experiencia, tanto en la selección como ya el europeo, pero también salida de balón, como todos sabéis, es una cualidad importante que hay que tener en Barcelona. Luego el hecho de que esté en un club que ha ganado unos cuantos títulos en los últimos años significa que está acostumbrado a esa presión exigente de responder cada partido, tanto en Europa como en la Liga, sobre todo en su Liga, que hay partidos que son un día por arriba, otro por abajo y otro por el lado, o sea, es muy cambiante esa Liga, muy difícil. Y el hecho de que
It's a very changeable league, and the fact that he has adapted to that is good for us. We had a way of playing, but we also need to win matches when we don't have such a good day, so you need other things as well. And when we were next to him in the picture, we had to stand up because he's very tall. He's used to that kind of competition, everything to be fast. Everything that we had to do as a club.
Y la verdad es que
all
estamos
the
ilusionados
characteristics
de
we
que
were
su adaptación será
looking
buena,
into, and we're sure that he's going to adapt really well. He's going to help us in a lot of ways, and
dolor de cabeza al entrenador a
we're
nivel
just going to
positivo de
give
que
the
tiene
coach
que
a
dejar
headache in a positive way.
muchos jugadores buenos, pero estamos convencidos que tienen esa mentalidad necesaria, ese ritmo
we are convinced that he has the right mentality, the right rhythm.
Que lleva ganando títulos, o sea, viene preparado.
Comes from a demanding club like Chelsea. He's just ready to go, ready to perform.
Bueno, buenas, José Luis Olivares. Para más que pelotas, estas preguntas para Andreas.
Olivares, for más que pelotas, my question is for Andreas.
Compañero tuyo de la selección.
There is a player from the national team.
¿Por qué tomaste la decisión aquí? Si te ha dado
Did you talk to him? Did you tell him why you came here, or did he give you any advice, or as an influencer?
We're talking about Martin, huh? Yeah. Yeah, obviously, as soon as I knew this was a possibility, I reached out to people who knew the club a little bit, like I said with Marcos and Cesar, and yeah, the way they're speaking about the club, everyone is so positive, and small things just about the city, and not necessarily about the team, but just the city and the Spanish culture, football culture is how it is, and it was something that I felt excited to, listen to and kind of trying to be a part of. So yeah, it's just small things like that, not even about football, life as well.
Hola, Andreas. Adrián Regás, en directo para el 10 del Barça. Ya comentaba Jordi que la Premier es una liga más española.
They were saying that the Premier League is more physical than here. So what things have you learned playing in the Premier League that can help you to play here in Barça to be a more differential player?
I mean, I'm tall, but I'm not the widest, not the strongest guy. And in Premier League, you have a lot of big strikers and strong people. So I think I had to use my mind a little bit more, and I think that's the way we play in Barca as well. That's what I learned from the outside. So I think that can help me a lot.
Una última pregunta en danès, sense traducció.
The last question in Danish with no translation.
Du der? Ja.
Du er den 6. dansker i historien til at træne den her klub. Hvor stort er det for dig? Hvordan føles det at sidde i den stol, du sidder nu? Og som en opfølgning til det, kommer til en stor klub. Tror du kan spille dig ind i en startelver fra start, så du også kan holde en kampform frem til et VM, der ligger lige om hjørnet?
Ja, til den første del, Jeg glæder mig selv til at se, om det tager noget tilvænningstid, eller hvad det gør. Det tror jeg ikke. Jeg tror, at alle ved, den måde, jeg spiller fodbold på, er lidt mere tænkende end den fysiske, selvom jeg kommer fra Premier League. Så nej, det må vi se. Altså, jeg håber, jeg kan spille mig ind med det samme. Det er jo klart målet, og det er derfor, jeg kommer. Og også med hensyn til VM. Altså, jeg har brug for spilletid, så ved vi kommer, hvad der sker, så kommer jeg ikke til at spille. Og det er stadig en af mine store drømme, det er at spille til VM igen. Jeg kan ikke være, hvad det første del af spørgsmålet, det kan jeg ikke huske. Jo, så jeg ved ikke, om du fik oversættelsen på. Det har været en drøm i lang tid, og det er selvfølgelig kæmpe stort. Og jeg glæder mig bare helt vildt til at komme i gang. Jeg har første dag på mandag, og jeg glæder mig bare sindssygt meget.
Gracias.
Thank you. Of Andreas Christensen as a new Barcelona player who will be training with the team later on today. What a memento this is for Andreas Christensen, who will have plenty more to look forward to. The dream has come true. What he wrote down on a piece of paper at the age of 8 has come to fruition. The newest Barcelona signing, as he has been presented today. Frank Kessié yesterday, Andreas Christensen today.
Què va amb aquesta fotografia?
Shape for Barcelona.
Last. Andreas Christensen, el segon fitxatge per aquesta temporada.